Stranger Things Season 2 just released, and we got so much new information. Another psychic test subject, the smoke monster possessing Will, and the slug he spit up growing into the world's worst pet. But with all the overarching, series-long mysteries, we sometimes overlook the small details. And in a series like Stranger Things, the smallest words can provide the biggest backstory. And one of the smallest details that everyone forgets could be much bigger than we ever imagined. Remember Jim Hopper's daughter? I don't blame you, she hardly makes any appearances, but rather her presence is felt in how much her death affects Hopper. Hell, it's pretty obvious that his lost daughter is a big factor in protecting Elle in Season 2. Having the daughter he couldn't, metaphorically and then literally in the end. But quick recap for those of you who forgot all about his biological daughter. Sara Hopper died of cancer years ago, leaving Hopper devastated. After the death of Sara, Diane, wife of Hopper, divorced him after 7 years together, and later remarried to have a child with a man named Bill. In Season 2, we see just how they took their test subjects, such as Jane and Kali. As soon as they are born, they are taken by the government and told that the child has died. Well, what if they did the same to Sara? What if Jim's daughter is still alive? What if she's even number 1? It sounds crazy, I know, and with what little we actually know about Sara, it's hard to get evidence, but hear me out. If you forgot, the reason Sara was taken into the hospital to begin with was because she was hyperventilating in the park. Now what if, when she was taken into the hospital, they found out she had some kind of strange trait, a gift. As we see with Kali, their gifts can have a wide variety of effects. So whatever it was, what if it was enough to cause the hospital staff to contact someone as high up as the government? Some kind of psychic powers would certainly warrant that. And since they're the government, they do a bit of digging for some kind of clue as to why this seemingly normal girl has psychic powers. Now what if, in all their digging, they find out that her mother was part of the MK Ultra experiments? For those of you out of the know, the MK Ultra experiments were done to US citizens without their permission in an attempt to discover the secrets of mind control. These experiments proved to be a failure, but the offspring of some of the MK Ultra subjects were found to have psychic powers. This is why 11 and Kali were taken. Anyway, after seeing Diane was part of these experiments, they faked Sara's death, treat her in a separate lab, and take in Sara for some kind of experimenting. They suspect a connection, so they do some spying and investigating and find that other offspring of the MK Ultra experiments also have gifts, hence why the others were taken. And just because Elle was taken at birth doesn't mean they can't take older children. We see in the newspapers Elle was sifting through to find Kali that they took a 16-year-old as well. So who's to say they couldn't take someone as young as Sara? This all seems very far-fetched, until you realize that the only information we ever get about Sara is from Hopper. Now we see that when Elle was born, they fooled her aunt into thinking that she had died, so they clearly have the potential to fool Hopper. And if he thinks that she's dead, we will too. And Stranger Things is full of foreshadowing and small details here and there. So who's to say that not only are the Duffer Brothers showing a parallel in Hopper having Elle and Sara, but they could also be hinting that since Elle has psychic powers, as did Sara. And on that note, I'll leave you to think about that. And with Season 3 already being announced, hopefully we'll get some answers soon. Subscribe to Rose Entertainment to become a noble today. I'm William, and I'll see you soon.